Okay, we're live and hello and welcome to the post-match live show of the India Women versus Bangladesh Women in the ongoing ICC Women's T20 World Cup, and a big win for India, obviously, as we were discussing in the pre-match show, that it was indeed that India needed this win, and at the end they have managed to pull this win, within what 3.1 overs remaining. So eventually it kind of helped there in terms of net run rate, but still, despite that win, despite all over the, all the performances that we witnessed, especially from Shefali Verma with that 53 wickets for Radha Yadav, 2 wickets again for Charani, and I think at the end it was a good knock from Jemima as well, some quick contribution. But overall, there are so many questions ahead of the crucial Australia game now at Lords. Boria sir, first thoughts on the win, and then as I ended up with that, questions against that Australia match.
Snehashish, the truth, very shabby.
Yes.
Extremely shabby. Very, very poor. The fielding was shocking. I mean, I'm sort of borrowing Harsha Bhogle's words here. Shocking. Absolutely shocking is the word. 4 catches dropped in the matter of 6 balls. Nandini Sharma 2. I can give the second one because that was difficult, but the first one was a dolly. Radha Yadav, don't know what's going on, in and out again. Multiple misfields, even in the last ball of the innings, Harmanpreet Kaur misfielding. That has been the story of India. Yastika Bhatia did not even reach the ball. The ball was up for about 10 seconds. Unfortunately, Yastika Bhatia wasn't able to reach the ball. In every sense, Dehashish, the kind of effort that you've seen, even with the bat, multiple times you were about to get run out. Somebody like a Yastika Bhatia, how many more opportunities? I mean, Smriti, I understand poor game, but if you take a look at some of the others, Yastika Bhatia, for example, always comes to mind. Why would you give up like that? Why would you? I mean, if you put in this performance against Australia, you're not winning.
Yeah.
This has been one of the shabbiest performances from India in recent times, is what I will say. Bangladesh should have not gotten more than 115, 120. They were about, allowed to get to 136, close to 140. And that is because of India's fielding. How many misfields? How many catches dropped? Howlers? Even with the bat, if you see, running between the wickets, it was seeming amateurish to me. They are bumping into each other. It was Bangladesh, Harman and Jemima. It just made no sense. I like the Richa promotion. That was a show of intent. But again, Richa also, you tried that shot, you got lucky because you were actually showing your bat to Yastika when the impact was outside the line. So you got saved. And then again, in the very next over, you're trying that same shot, middle stump line gone. So, overall, if you ask me, extremely disappointed rather than feeling any sense of relief. Either it's still playing in their mind. And I was trying to ask myself, why? Why would India be this shabby? Why would India be this under par? Is it that the South Africa defeat is still playing on their minds and they have not been able to come out of it? That the trauma is still there? They're trying to recover, but it's still playing at the back of their mind. I don't know exactly what the issue is, but this fielding, this level of intensity, this kind of batting against Australia, this won't work. Let's be very blunt. You have to at least better this performance by 100%. I know Trisha wrote in the group that Smriti was speaking to Matthew Hayden. Harman and Amol were having a chat. Not one, have many chats, my friends. Have many chats. This won't do. This absolutely won't do. If you take a look at the way India bowled also, Snehashish, very, very underwhelming. Renuka multiple times going down leg. Very disappointing.
Yes, absolutely. But let's talk about the fielding first. Sir, we, as you mentioned earlier also so many times, that we have attended every practice session, and every practice session we saw that different drills, high catching everyone, and surprisingly, Radha Yadav stands out every time, right? Even yesterday, she was catching everything, the high catches every time. What is happening during the match time? Even today, 2 great chances from her standard, it was quite easy, but again, same mistakes.
Agree. And did you see, because clearly her mind was not there. I don't know how many people have seen it on television or digital. Radha Yadav had to throw the ball back to Harman.
Yes.
Harman was fielding and mid-off. Radha just needed to throw the ball back to Harman to give it to the bowler. She actually threw it over Harman, and the ball went straight to long off. Harman was quite, irritated. What is going on here? So that can only happen if you are distracted, that you are continuously thinking of the drop catch, what is happening, something's going wrong. But it was elementary. All Radha needed to do was just move a little bit on her right, and the ball came in. And you're absolutely correct. Yesterday also, I told you to specifically keep an eye on Radha. Both of us were looking at Radha's fielding drill. All the high catches were taken, all the catches were taken. And today, again in match situation, maybe the 3 wickets will give her a bit of confidence that, okay, at least I've got some runs. I'll be candid with you, because this was Bangladesh, we managed to get out of jail. Had it been a better side, an Australia and England, or a South Africa, this score of Bangladesh would have become 170. Definitely. And India would have stuttered. With this effort, you will not beat Australia. You need a fundamental overhaul. At least this game is out of the way. So now you know it's now or never. It's now or never. India's net run rate, let me give it to you, it's plus 2.2. And South Africa's is minus 0.5. So that means a 70-80 run win, and South Africa will catch up. So it's not a major difference anymore. It is a difference. It's a substantial difference, but not something South Africa can't catch up with 2 games left against Bangladesh and the Dutch. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on what happens tonight against Holland, and then kind of recalibrate what's going on between South Africa and India in terms of net run rate. But I would have expected a far more intense, far more solid performance from India, which I did not see.
Yes, absolutely. And as you mentioned, the chances that Bangladesh, kind of let off, the Bangladesh, the drop chances, what could have been happened, if Shefali Verma's chances got grabbed by, Nigar Sultana Jyoti. From heart standard, it was quite surprising that Nigar Sultana Jyoti missed that. But just think, if that time Shefali got out, India could have been a big trouble, because
I agree.
Because ultimately that Shefali's innings, kind of stabilized the India's knock. Apart from that, every batter struggled. Be it Yastika, even Richard. Richard looked good with 2-3 boundaries, but again, 2 similar kind of sweeps in the middle stump line, and it was a quite wrong line for sweep shots. So, and again, I think yes, Jemima did the job, but again, she should have stayed there and finished the game, but she couldn't. But overall, a win. But Shefali Verma, at least a confident boosting knock a 50 run. But again, it is not a scratchy scratch free knock. There are some scratches.
Shefali Verma was still good. Shefali Verma played some really pleasing shots, but that catch would not be dropped by Australia, Snehashish. I mean, that catch was a pretty regulation catch. Yes, it was low. Nigar Sultana Jyoti should have maybe was a tad late in reacting, but that could have been taken. Marufa Akhtar was absolutely gutted she was bowling beautifully. And the difference between that shot and the boundary was that Shefali Verma played closer to her body when that full face straight drive happened. And then she played away from the body with the bat face open when that catch went. Now, Australia will not give you these kind of chances. Again, if you think, India was 63 in the power play. Now, that was a solid power play. We actually said 63 in the power play. Unfortunately, 86 in 10 overs, something like that. 86 in 10 overs. After that, again, a cluster of wickets.
In middle overs.
Again, the middle overs. This is a middle over curse that is impacting India every game. This is what the problem is. Against Australia, you cannot give these chances. As I said, I'm quite disappointed with this performance. But then in sport, you pick yourselves up. Manchester hasn't really been good. The South Africa game should have been won. We keep saying it. Bangladesh was always going to be a match that India will win. The whole thing was, how good can India be? Can they recover and get their act together and play their A game and win? They haven't been able to do that. Scrappy, whatever you want to call it. But let's hope we will put our best foot forward against Australia and redeem ourselves, because otherwise we are packing our bags and going home. And that's the reality. You've kept it too late. You've not got your fate in your own hands. And now somehow, somewhere, you've got to dig deep and find out your A game. Figure out your A game. What is your take on Renuka Thakur? I thought the Prema Rawat call was a wrong call. Prema Rawat should have been played. Now people will say, but Radha Yadav picked 3 wickets. Had Prema Rawat played today, she could have also picked 3 wickets. It is a disappointing thing. Snehashish, I mean, I'm not understanding this. Prema Rawat gets 2 2 overs against South Africa. You fly her from India. You give her one game, 2 overs against a team. Everybody bowled badly. Why are you singling out Prema Rawat? Deepti Sharma bowled bad. Nandini Sharma bowled bad. We've all of a sudden singled out the youngster. You've got Radha Yadav in. So that means Prema Rawat's World Cup is over. Prema Rawat is certainly not going to play a part anymore. What is the logic behind this? Renuka Singh Thakur, I understand. But again, as far as Renuka Singh Thakur goes, multiple balls down the leg stump. Finally, before you take over again, you tell me this. Deepti Sharma, 2 no balls.
Yes.
Nandini Sharma, 1 no ball. You have actually considered 3 free hits in a 20-over game. Now, in those 3 free hits, Deepti considered a boundary. Had it been Australia, you are talking about 15 to 18 runs. So if you are adding 15 to 18 gifted runs with 3 free hits, where is the discipline? How can a spinner bowl 2 no balls? Nandini Sharma is also not fast. So for 3 no balls and 3 free hits gifted away, this has been, like I said, extremely scrappy from India.
Yes, absolutely. And now, if you see, heading into this Australia game, Deepti Sharma is going wicketless in back-to-back 2 games. Suddenly, the form that we talked about in the Pakistan game and in the following game as well, suddenly she is looking again out of form. I don't know what is happening. Maybe the pace of the, maybe not bowling at the correct pace or something. But somehow she is struggling again, not finding those wickets. For Nandini Sharma also, again, we saw in this wicket, she considered over 10 runs per over. And as you said, the discipline, the no balls in T20 game is not acceptable at all, and especially for spinners. For pacers, still I can say okay, but for spinners, for someone like Deepti Sharma, experience and with that run up, how can you bowl 2 no balls?
2, not 1.
Yes. So it's very surprising to see.
The bowling is only Charani.
Yes.
At this point in time, the biggest positive out of this World Cup, if you have to draw positives, is Charani. World's number 1 bowler now at the moment in ranking. Again, beautifully bowled today also. Last over picked up a couple, 3 overs 18, and then last over picked up a couple, but bowled well. Charani has been bowling extremely well. If you take any of the other bowlers, Nandini Sharma, Renuka Singh Thakur, even Radha Yadav, where is the real penetration? I mean, you see a bowler and you say, yes, this bowler is bowling beautifully. That's only Charani, and that's a scare. With this team, the way they are playing today, the way they played today, I'm quite scared for that Australia game. I've been saying this, that any team is beatable. I'm still saying any team is beatable, but India has to up its game big time to be able to compete against Australia. This has been a very underwhelming performance. Amol Mazumdar needs to speak to the girls in the change room. Harmanpreet Kaur needs to. India can't be this bad.
Yeah.
India can't be this bad. This shoddy running between the wickets, this lack of discipline with the ball, this lack of discipline in the field, multiple different misfields, catches dropped, 3 or 4 catches dropped. India can't be this bad. This is the nadir. I would want to believe all that can go wrong has gone wrong, and from here it will be only up and up and up. Against Australia, we would need the A game out.
Yes. Okay. There is a super chat from Denver Johnson. The catching again was shoddy. 3 catches dropped. The only consolation from all this is that we have now got a world-class bowler in Charani. I don't see us winning against Australia at the rate we are playing right now.
He's right. Denver Johnson. Denver Johnson is absolutely right. At this rate, if you play this kind of cricket, this was very scrappy. This was ordinary. I mean, and I'm saying it 20 times. Because it was Bangladesh, you managed to get out of jail. Had it been a quality opposition, this would have been 170 plus, and you would not be able to score. Even then, you lost 5. You lost 5. You should have closed it out in 2. You lost 5. Take a look at the dismissals. Richa Ghosh, same shot. You tried that shot in 1 over. You got a reprieve. It was slightly outside the line. Impact was outside. You managed to escape. Next week over, you play the same shot.
That was a wrong line.
Of course, the wrong line. And you are playing Ara. Amra jeta Banglaয় boli Ara shot. Je across the line sweep marche. It just doesn't work like that. Riyastika Bhatia, how many times will you get an opportunity in the Indian team to convert? This is your 3rd consecutive game. Every time you get a 10, you are getting a 13, 14, today 20. At number 3, you are batting, you've got a 23. That too, you got 23 and you're done. When? How many opportunities will you get? Now, I've heard many commentators tell me today in that press box, we are not a great T20 team. My answer is why? So you mean to say you'll accept it? That we are not a good T20 team, so no problem, it's fine. We won the 50 over World Cup. I'm sorry, you can't say that. This Indian team, has to up its game. If India goes out in the group stages of a World Cup, it's a really really bad performance. And Snehashish, think about the way Pakistan 18 overs 132.
Yes.
So it was bad. Last 2 overs Pakistan gave it away. We managed. The Dutch game,
Yes.
if you again see first 10 and then you see India's performance
Next
after that, you allowed the Dutch to get away to 30 odd in the first 4 overs. So your power play bowling was bad. South Africa, multiple times you had control, you lost it. Today, it was a genuine. So if you take a look at the World Cup graph, the graph has been downhill. I don't see the graph going up and up and up, and I'm worried.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's take few comments. A lot of comments. Mohit Patle saying seems like the main team strategy of maintaining the left-right combination is not working between Yastika and Jim. Are they even trying that combination?
Where is the I mean, Yastika unfortunately is not being able to convert starts. So Jemmy at least looked good today before that one false shot. After the 2 boundaries, I understand she was trying to up the NRR and trying to close as quickly as possible. At least played some really good shots, Jemmy. That 14 ball, some 15 ball 26 or something is what she got. At least some good shots. The straight shots were good. She was connecting straight, but somebody who can hit that 6, play those straight shots. Why are you moving away in the crease multiple times? Stay still. You can. She's a quality batter. As far as Yastika is concerned, I'm disappointed. I'm one of those people who have always supported and backed Yastika. She's very close to me. And I love the kid. Having said that, how many chances will you get? These are valuable chances. You are playing for India in a World Cup match. These are hugely valuable chances. Every time you are scoring at 13, 14, 15, 20, today you got 23. If after this you get dropped, if you don't qualify and the selectors look beyond you, if the team moves past you, what will you have to say? That, I got my chances and did not make the most of it. Very disappointing that way.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Mohit Patil is saying Yastika is a good batter, but her inclusion has brought confusion in batting order. Yes, Bhupinder Shinde saying actually I was hopeful India will do good, but from today it will be one-sided affair with Australia. We can't win with 3 players, Shefali, Jamie and Charani. We seriously lack T20 batters and bowlers.
Basis today, one has to kind of agree. But I don't think this India will. I still believe, the eternal optimist in me still believes you will see a better India. You will see a better Smriti Mandhana. You will see a more charged up India. India will also know that match is do or die. India will know that at least if you beat Australia and then go out, it's a different way.
Yes.
That, okay, we have beaten the top team in the world. We've beaten Australia. So there is more than qualification at stake here. There is a lot of pride also in international sport that is at stake. At least we brought out our A game against Australia. We managed to go past Australia at Lord's, packed house, sellout crowd. By the way, Lord's is already a sellout. Lord's is already a sellout crowd for Sunday. It is not going to be as hot. It's much better weather. So it will be an absolute spectacle at Lord's. So Lord's sell out. It will be a massive occasion. I would want India to just give it their best. Forget about whatever. I mean, we qualify. Yes. But at least if we are able to beat Australia, Snehashish, that's a big takeaway for this team. But I tend to agree that basis today, this has been an abject shabby performance.
Sanju F1 Y1N saying we could see the coach was extremely frustrated. Why not? I think the facial expression was quite evident with that performance.
Had I been there at the press conference, I would have asked that we are not this bad. What's going wrong? Do they even have an explanation? Because like we are saying, we have been part of every Indian practice session. It's not like this. Radha Yadav takes every catch. It is not like the team is not training or putting in the hard yards on the field. They are. But what is happening in match situations that Nandini drops 2, Yastika drops 1, Radha drops 1, multiple different no balls are happening, no balls happening, multiple runouts are being missed, and then in batting we are conceding, whatever, giving opportunities, not running well. There was almost a collision between Harmanpreet Kaur and Jemimah Rodrigues. That could have been another run out. There was one misunderstanding where both were almost stranded at one end. It was. You tend to ask what's going on, boss. I mean, this is fundamental.
And it's quite surprising.
Yeah, man.
Okay, another super chat from Denver Johnson. Mr. Mojumdar, at this rate, Australia will have this Indian team for lunch, breakfast and dinner any time of the day.
As I said, he's right. Everybody who is saying this is right, that if you play this kind of cricket, then you don't stand a chance against Australia. But Denver, my point is, India, this is not the India that we know. India can play better.
Yes.
yes, I understand that this is not the best T20 team. It's a much better ODI side. But this is not the India that we expect. If we go point by point, is Smriti like this? No. Is Jemmy or are we this bad with the ball? No. Are fielders this bad with catching? If you take the catches, which was a hard catch, except the Nandini Sharma dive, that was a difficult catch. But the catch that went in, went out, or the catch that Yastika could not even get to, or the catch that Nandini was there in point or some point, cover, whatever.
Yeah.
None of these are difficult catches. So when we are saying India was bad, and by the way, Denver, I'm with you on this. I don't think India is this bad. I also think the crowd, the occasion, the spectacle, it happens against a relatively weaker team that you can't bring out your A game. I've seen that. I've seen with players, even individual sport, that it's not a fancy opponent and you are not able to bring out your A. Against Australia, you will know that this is perhaps the world's best team. If we are not able to bring our A game, we are gone. So that also brings a certain sense of urgency in your effort. I still think India will be better at Lords. I honestly believe India will be better at Lords.
Yes, let's see. Anuruddh Dasgupta saying, Buriada, is Radha Yadav carrying any finger injury which affecting her catching?
No, I was chatting with Rana Kapoor and he sort of came to see me at the... He said, I spoke to Amol and he said nothing. Even the taping that was there was a protective taping. There was no injury or nothing like that. So no injury whatsoever. No fracture, no hairline, no problem there. So tapping was the strapping that there was, that was protective, nothing to do with any major injury. So no.
Yes. Devil King DK saying Radha even in the Ekdom. 1 second. ওই দিকটা চলো 1 second guys.
বাপরে বাপ, it's too hot and it's too tiring. ওখানটা রেখে দে না, সামনেটা রেখে দে, এবার নামা। হ্যাঁ, এবার বস। বাস ঠিক আছে ছেড়ে দে। ছেড়ে এবার বসে যা, এখানে চলে আয়। আমি ব্যাগটা করে হ্যাঁ, bag and water. So we are at the Old Trafford Town Hall, which is just opposite the Old Trafford Cricket Stadium. I think there is another super chat, right?
Yes.
I still can't believe this is the same team that went to Australia this year and beat them in the T20 series. This is a very good question, Denver Johnson. This is a very, very good question, Denver Johnson. I mean, you follow every game.
Yes.
Same team went to Australia and beat Australia. What's happening?
Yes, this is why the surprising element coming in everyone's mind, that what has happened to this team. Suddenly, it was January, February maybe, earlier this year, they went and they defeated Australia 2-1 in the three-match series, and then obviously they had a tough tour in South Africa, but still they are not as this bad. Today it was quite surprising to see the way the batters, the bowler, and the fielding just don't talk about that. I think the way every bowler, even easiest ground fielding.
That's what I was saying. Everyone misfielded.
Yes.
Harman misfielded. Dipti misfielded. Everyone misfielded. Yastika to chhod dijiye. Catches drop हुए सबसे, except Jamie Rodrigues. Except Jamie Rodrigues, who was on with the fielding. There was not one player. So Denver Johnson, to read out your comment again, another super chat. I still can't believe this is the same team that went to Australia this year and beat them in the T20 series. Boss, you are absolutely 100% correct.
Yes.
100% correct. What do I say? What do I say to this? Ashish, you can take some other questions.
Yes. Okay. Shilajit Das saying net run rate of India got lesser after this game. It was 2.5. Now it's 2.2.
Yeah, has to be, because that's why I was repeatedly telling Snehashish that you got to finish it in 15. Had you finished it in 15 and not 17, you finished it in 16.5. That impacted the 2.5 to 2.2 because it was also the number of overs remaining. You should have finished it 30 balls to spare. Had you, and boss, it was doable. 136 at 9 runs an over is 135. That's why I was telling him 15. Had you finished it in 15, your net run rate would have been the same, and it would have given you a little bit more cushion. That's why there should have been more intensity. That's exactly why, and you lost wickets in a cluster. Jemmy got out, Yastika got out. Of course, Shafali got out. Had Shafali stayed there, you could have seen a finish in 13-14 overs. But again, that was a bit of a lucky one where the ball got stuck in Jyoti's pads and she just stumped Shafali. But the moot point is India should have closed it out in 15 overs and not taken more.
Yes. Okay, Vinzatine is quite confident that we will win against Australia, but what about net run rate? I think for that we have to keep an eye on
The South
today's
Africa match
game.
today.
Yeah, tonight South Africa taking on Netherlands at Bristol. So let's see what happens there. Okay, Bhupender Shinde Singh. I think Nandini and Radha catch versus South Africa has costed us semi-sport. Fielding is worst. Boriada looks like we have to look for another set of players for T20. I think will be some changes. Some new players might come after this World Cup.
Yes, if you go out in the group stages, I am 100% sure there will be a proper introspection. Has to be, because look, now your WPL is 4 years old.
Yes.
So it is not as if it's a first year tournament anymore. You have all the facilities in the world. You have players who are going and playing in other leagues like the 100, the WBBL. So your exposure is top notch. In every sense, you are playing multiple tours. So it's not as if you don't get matches anymore. You have a settled domestic structure where there are plenty of games. So it can't be that you will have a poor T20 side. T20 is the flavor in the world. What is the format in the leagues? Tell me. WBBL T20, WPL T20. So T20 is the format that is favored in the world. How can you be a bad T20 team when you have a robust WPL structure? So I absolutely think there will be introspection. I absolutely think there will be a proper probe, because this has been pretty underwhelming. I did not see Harmanpreet Kaur try one big hit. If you are wanting to up the NRR, at one point, I don't know how much she finished with, but when you and I started walking out to come and do the show, it was again a runner ball. I didn't see any real effort in the sense to up the ante. I saw that from Jemmy, but I didn't see it from Harman. Now, it can be that the net run rate cost us the place in the semifinals. In every sense, that's what I'm trying to say. Where is game awareness? Where is the intent? Where is basic fundamentals like catching, basic fundamentals like running between the wickets, basic fundamentals like discipline where you don't bowl no balls? The moment you concede 3 no balls and 3 free hits against a quality side like Australia, you are actually talking about 16 to 18 runs. That's what will nail you. It's a T20 game, my friend.
Yeah.
In a T20 game, if you concede 15 to 20 extra runs, how do you manage that deficit? Very shabby.
Absolutely. Creeks Jinxer saying, will India persist with the same team against Australia?
Good question. Lords will be as hot. Maybe Sunday won't be. Saturday tak to aisa heat hi hai. I do see the same team. I do see the same team, because at Lords, with the slope, you need an experienced bowler, because anyway the ball will drift. You will not be able to control if you've not played at Lords for too long. So you will need the experience of Renuka Thakur, and I don't see Renuka Thakur getting dropped. Nandini Sharma is the only one, but this musical chair can't continue that you drop Nandini Sharma again and get Arundhati Reddy back. Not happening. Radha Yadav has picked 3. You will certainly not get Prema Rawat back. The only option, the only change that I see, you've given back-to-back 3 games to Yastika, is if you get Bharti Phulmali back.
Yes.
That's the only change that is possible, and Jamie Rodriguez gets pushed up. That one change, that you've given Yastika 3 back-to-back games. Unfortunately, she has not clicked. If you go back to Bharti, that's your only change. Otherwise, I don't see anything else.
Okay, I am working progress. Wow, what a name.
Wow.
I am working progress.
Indian team.
Yes, mentioned that missing
Change your name to I'm Indian team.
missing Sriyanka and Amanjot a lot. Yeah, Amanjot is
100%.
injured and Sriyanka is a big miss.
100%.
Yes. The Creek Jinxer is a good point that for the last 1 or 2 years, hardly 2-3 players have been selected for the WBBL 100 and for CPL, only Sriyanka. Tells us the story where we stand in T20s. Yes, I think that has been the story. But many players also
don't go.
They were not available. Or
Plus
something.
state matches,
Yes.
they don't go. So that is also last year, for example, after winning the World Cup, not many wanted to go. Some did not. For example, I can tell you Jhulan's story some years back. Jhulan wanted to play for Bengal and did not go for the WBBL. She had been given a contract. So there have been such instances also. So it's not as if only that Indians did not get an opportunity. Look, you don't need to go to WBBL or the Caribbean League or 100. You have a fantastic structure in WPL now. It's the world's best league, or will be the best league soon. So you have enough and more domestic cricket. You have the domestic senior T20s. You have enough A tours. You have enough opportunity now England versus India, for example, is going on for the A team also. You have enough and more cricket, unlike in the past where you can get your act together. Sadly, it has been pretty underwhelming in this World Cup. Look, it is also true that that last World Cup win masked everything, because we kind of mix formats. Once you win a World Cup, you're like, we are world champions. We are not world champions in 50 overs. We are world champions. Because you say we are world champions, you actually mix formats. So red ball, we lost in Australia in 2.5 days.
Yes.
But frankly, it doesn't matter because you don't play too many red ball test matches. Having said that, all of you are right. We are not a very good T20 side, but it's time that you rectify that and don't accept it. That's where introspect. That's why I'm saying, let's keep this in abeyance for 2 to 3 days. Let's see what happens against Australia, and then all this introspection can be done on the 29th, because absolutely there will be need for introspection if India goes out in the group stage.
Yes. Hari Prasad Guru saying, Buriada, why India is not developing middle order batters and power hitting batters despite state leagues, WPL and A games?
Fair point.
Yes. See, I think a lot of work is going on. There is no doubt about that. As you mentioned, that right now, if you see, along with the senior team, under 19 team is playing in England. India A women are playing it at home in Chennai against Sri Lanka. So a lot of cricket has been happening, and talents are getting
BCCI
opportunities.
has done everything.
Yes, yes. So even with the WPL, as you can see, 4 years gone, and we can see the improvement. Definitely, there is a change of approach also within this team, whatever we have seen 4 years back, but still there's a long way to go, whatever we have seen so far. As you mentioned, that in WPL,
Ashish, what is ultimately sport is performance.
Yes,
2024, you covered that World Cup in Dubai. We were ousted in the group stage. 2026, again, if we are ousted in the group stage, then there is something wrong, boss. There is something wrong. Then people will now say, much like Shubhan, you are unlucky for India. That can't happen.
in T20 tournament.
In T20 tournaments. Now Trisha will say, I am the lucky one. I went in the 50 over World Cup. Well, then both of us. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens at Lord's.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Last few comments, guys. Okay. Adi saying Harman is constantly worried that they don't have batting left after her. So she is.
there, Richa? What are you talking?
Yeah. So she is always playing like she has to stay unbeaten. Maybe she can be sent at number 3 herself, bat with full freedom. No. At number 3, you have to try someone like Jamie or Yastika if
That's
she is
her
playing.
position.
Yeah.
She is playing a little conservative for whatever reason, and that's where the coach has to come in. That no, this is not the kind of knock we want from you. You have to bat with freedom. And after Harman, there is a Deepti Sharma, there is a Richa Ghosh. Today, Richa was promoted, but generally, Deepti Sharma and Richa Ghosh both come after Harman. So there is enough and more batting left after Harman.
Absolutely. The Creek Jinx are saying in WPL, young Indian bowlers are doing good. For example, Chadani, but we need to unearth better batters who can win matches for their team, not counting Shefali, Smriti Mandana, Harmanpreet Kaur, etc.
Agreed?
Yes.
Agreed, but Shefali is still young.
Yes.
Smriti is also what is come. Smriti still has 3-4 years of cricket easily left in her.
Yeah.
Harman, I understand, is probably towards the end of her career. But Smriti and Shefali and these people have a lot of cricket left. But yes, I agree. Your Amanjot Kaur should have been a huge boost here. The big hits and all of that. You are lacking the bowling as well. You are lacking a proper all-rounder, a pace bowling all-rounder, that is, who can come and hit the big shots. I am confident that WPL will unearth talent. That's how it is. The IPL, it has taken 15 to 20 years of the IPL for India to create a white ball team in T20 format, which is unbeatable in the world now. You have won back-to-back T20 World Cups, but it has taken time. Please understand, IPL started in 2008. India lost in 2009, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016. It was only in 2024 and 26 that you went on to win the World Cup. So it has taken a decade or 15 years for India to create a team that is now literally, unbeatable. So it will take a bit of time. I think over the next 4 or 5 years with the WPL, India definitely will unearth solid T20 talent. It's only natural.
Yes.
I mean, with that level of talent, money, exposure, television, glamour, stardom, contracts, everything, how is it that talent won't come? It defies logic.
And see, already I think there are so many players who have got chances. For someone like Kamalini, she got chances. Unfortunately, she got injured. That is why she didn't travel to Australia. And suddenly, then despite coming back from injury, she didn't even consider. For someone like Anushka Sharma, she also got a
This is
chance.
a good question.
Yes.
Take that.
Yes, again from Denver Johnson, so, super chat. Do you think Vrinda Dinesh is a better option now instead of Fulmali? This team needs a very strong pace bowler or spinner to complement Cherny. See, for Vrinda Dinesh, she is a very good talent. There's no doubt about that. She is currently busy playing for the India under 19 team here in England, and she scored some 70 plus run in the second T20. Though India lost that game, but she batted well. But from but she can be the replacement for Bharati Fulmali because Vrinda Din is kind of top order batter. She generally bats as an opener or maybe at number 3 or number 4 you can use her. So she cannot bat at number 6 or number 7. For the role that Bharati Fulmali plays generally. But Vrinda Din is going forward. I think she is one of the players that definitely will get chance in T20. For me, I think after this World Cup there is a fresh cycle for 2 years for the next T20 World Cup. Try new players, try new batters like Kamalini, give them a good role. Someone like Jeet Risha, try this player. Someone like Nikki Prasad, use these players. Brinda Dinesh. There are so many players. They are doing well in domestic cricket. They are scoring runs at a good rate. For someone like Anushka Sharma, Anushka is now leading that team, so she has that quality, and that is why she has been given that chance so earlier in the senior team as well. So I think there are a lot of batters that Team India can try at least for the first 1 year, as a preparation for the upcoming T20 World Cup. I think they should try those players. So let's see what will happen. Okay. Okay. Arindam Mukherjee is not happy with the Denver Johnson suggestion. No, sir. Vrinda lost her opportunity. She was horrible in WPL. Yes, she didn't do that much well in WPL. But if you see after that, that Rising Star tournament and in the current England series, as I mentioned, that she scored a 70 plus run. I think she finally has started to show some consistency because she has that quality and hopefully she will continue that. Okay, sir. Last two comments before wrapping up. Okay, the Creeks saying, Buriada, how do you prevent injuries to our players? We have talent, but they keep getting injured. Yes, what is this, sir? We have so many, such a good quality, center of excellence in Bangalore. We even see in men's cricket also players get injured and they made a comeback and do well. But somehow in women's cricket, we are not seeing that. Be it Pooja Vastakar, be it Asha Shobana. What is going wrong there?
I totally agree. And this Pooja Vastraka thing defies logic.
After 2024 T20 World Cup, she's yet to
She's
play
gone.
She's gone. She made a comeback in WPL just to field. She didn't bowl, she didn't bat.
You're right. I mean, whether it is Pooja, some people just keep getting injured.
Yes.
Back injury. No, I mean that's where I think this needs to get sorted.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Kuldhon is saying Yastika has been struggling while running during fielding. Has she fully recovered? I think she was fine, but I think she has a problem of running between the wickets. Sir, you can remember that Richa Ghosh, kind of told her to run for those third run.
Yes,
because she was not going for the third run, but kind of Richa Ghosh, told her that you have to run, and then they completed third run. Okay. Sri Hari Chandrasekhar saying drop Yastika, Nandini and make Kranti and Arundhati in the squad to get the balance of the squad. Let's see. Arundhati, has not been that good. Kranti has not been that good as well. Let's see at Lords. Maybe the Pacers might come good. So let's see what the team will decide. Okay, I am working progress. What about making Pratika ready for T20? I don't know. With Pratika, I think she's a much more better batter in ODIs and especially in test format. I think she has been brilliant, and the technical solidity that she has, I think she will be brilliant. But in T20s, let's see. I think first of all you have to see how she does in WPL. She got an opportunity for UP Warriors last season, but unfortunately due to injury she couldn't play. But hopefully in the next season we might see her in action. So let's see how she does first there, and then maybe we can try for the senior team. Okay. Okay, last comment, sir. Hari Prasad Goru. Fielding has been pathetic by top nations. New Zealand and India want to see quality cricket. What
all of us.
And for Asian teams, it's always been the fielding has been a difference with top teams like Australia, England, and South Africa. It is those crucial moments where those teams and those players put their body and save those extra 5-10 runs, and eventually that proved to be the ultimate difference.
Totally. I mean, the point is against Australia, this won't work, Ashish. You have to bring your A game on the field with the bat and with the ball. Against Australia, you make these number of mistakes, you're finished.
Finished. Australia have that quality. Even if you somehow make them like 30 for 3, they have that quality to score 180. So I think anyway it will be difficult. So I think lots of comments I know, guys, but again we have to leave because we have other works as well. But definitely we'll come back with another live show and we'll take another all the comments as well. So thank you everyone for joining in. But the good news is that at least India have won. So now the focus shifts to Lords at the Australia game. But as Shah mentioned, and we discussed for a long time now, that the way India played today here, in Manchester against Bangladesh, it will not work against Australia. Australia are coming with a lot of confidence, having won every other match, having sealed their position of, mostly, in the semi-final. But the way India have played, I think a lot of questions ahead of this game. But hopefully India will come back stronger and perform better at Lords. So till then, take care and thank you for joining in.